Do you like scary movies?
These killer clowns. It seems like they have a lot of experience in battle. Maybe get a protective shield over your nose.
Or just cover it once in a while. But they didn't just come up here just to hawk the cream.
All right, you gotta change your phrasing on this.
All right, welcome back to Fright Night Flicks. You're here with Dan and Darren. We are your go-to horror movie review podcast.
What's up, guys? And quit touching your mic, Dan.
Can't help it. This week, we're going to be reviewing one of our favorite movies that I cannot believe we haven't even touched it yet, The Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Killer Klowns from outer space. Holy shit.
Yeah, we just watched this recently, I think during Halloween. I've probably watched this movie 10 times.
Oh, at a minimum.
Yeah, dude, it's a blast.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know about Killer Klowns, well, you're going to today because we're going to go over the entire thing. But it is one of, well, we'll get into our initial impressions.
I would say it's a classic, award-winning movie.
I don't know about award-winning.
It should be. It's probably not, but it should be.
It is a cult classic for sure. So we'll start off. We'll give a brief synopsis, our initial impressions, give the full breakdown, the absurdity of all the scenes, the best kills, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll finish up with our final review. And I threw in a few trivia questions at the end. Or not, it's not questions, it's trivia about the movie.
Oh, cool. Thank you for doing that for us.
Oh, you're welcome. I did it for you guys. All right. Now, if you guys like the show and you want to help support it, we got to wait for you to do that. Patreon. Not only can you help support the show, we got stuff on there for you. We got Terrifier, Terrifier 2. We got Pooh, Blood, and Honey, and The Candyman.
And the only way to watch those is to be a Patreon member. So they're only for you guys.
Yes. And we are taking, if you guys have something you want to watch, let us know and we'll put it on there.
Yeah, we drop a new one every month.
Yes. We also get early access to the episodes.
It sounds great.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
We give you bonus episodes. You get access to our Discord and other stuff.
And shout outs, dude.
And shout outs. Yeah. So check it out. Maybe you like it. If you guys don't want to join the Patreon, you don't want to spend the money, I get it. If you guys just leave us a comment or review on Apple or Spotify, it's appreciated. We'll read them on here. Oh, I thought you were going to say something. You were kind of like jumping in on each one. I'm like, oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So Killer Klowns from Outer Space came out in 1988.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Are you surprised there hasn't been a remake?
I think they talked about a remake, but I guess it just never happened. I don't know, but it's kind of hard to remake something like this. It is. I think it would do well, but it's almost so bad it's good.
Yeah, but you just do that again.
I feel like actors would even have a hard time acting as bad as some of these do.
Yeah, but you know what? The acting's not great, but it works. I wouldn't even call it bad. I enjoy it.
Okay, we'll get to it. It's directed by Steven. I know I'm going to say this and get eaten alive. Chinodo.
There's a lot of Chinodos in there.
Yes, they all have the same last name. It's because the writers are Charles, Steven, and Edward. And the stars, Grant Kramer, Susan Snyder, Josh Allen, Nelson. I'm sure there's others, but you know how IMDb just throws like 3 random people on there.
Yeah, we'll take it. Honestly, I don't know that. Are there famous actors? I feel like the guy who played the police officer, I feel like I've seen him before.
Yeah, I forget his name. He might have been one of those we just read.
Sure.
So if you don't know about Killer Klowns, well, let me tell you. When teenagers Mike and Debbie see a comet crash outside their sleepy town, they investigate and discover a pack of murderous aliens who look very much like circus clowns. Yeah, they try to warn the local authorities, but everyone assumes their story is a prank. Meanwhile, the clowns set about harvesting and eating as many people as they can. It's not until they kidnap Debbie that Mike decides it's up to him to stop the clowns and their bloody rampage.
That's very interesting because they say they look like clowns. They're clowns.
They're aliens.
Yeah, I guess the lore is that we somehow saw clowns back in history, and we created clowns based off these aliens we've seen before.
I mean, I'll buy that. Is that something you looked up?
No, I think they kind of referenced it. I think that was kind of Mike speculating in the movie of what might have happened. I mean, clearly these things look and act like clowns.
That is a good...
Just like our clowns.
Where did clowns come from?
Right there. Outer space, bro.
So tomato meter, the critics gave it an 81%, which is shockingly high for critics. The popcorn meter audience, 61, a little low.
This makes no sense at all.
It should be reversed.
100%. I would think critics would hate this. An audience, he didn't allow me to guess, but I would have guessed the reverse of that. I would have said audience 80 something, critics at 70.
Maybe like some of the critics waited to review it until after, like later, much later on.
Yeah, who knows when this came out, but I'm just surprised, honestly, that the audience is that low because this is such a classic.
I mean, I don't know how long these ratings have been around, but I imagine when it first came out, probably was taken in an interesting way.
Dude, that's for real. Like, that would be an odd movie to just jump into, not knowing the history now. Obviously, we watched it and already knew it was like a cult classic.
Yeah, let's give like initial impressions of the movie.
One of my favorite movies I've ever watched.
Why though?
Because it's stupid, and it's fun. Simple. It's so interesting. The clowns look cool. I mean, they have like good personalities too. There's just some like funny ways that they kill people and just their interactions with humans. I think they speak English, kind of.
They do ish,
like baby English. It's just so absurd and funny. It's just an enjoyable movie.
Yeah, I would say they nail like the atmosphere. First of all, this is filmed like in Santa Cruz or around Santa Cruz. One of our favorite places in the world.
We go there every year.
Yeah, we love it. There's that. The soundtrack is full of bangers.
Dude, oh yeah, man, I almost forgot. The music is great.
Music is great. Sound effects are cool. Like the clowns have weird sound effects, but I like them. Just like exactly what you said. It's a very lighthearted horror movie. It's not scary at all, but that's what makes it great. Bad acting, stupid plot lines. And they just come up with very interesting ways to kill people that it fits within what a clown would do.
And it's just so bizarre. The whole idea is bizarre. Like clowns coming from outer space to kill humans and turn them into cocoons?
It's cocoons, you say?
Cocoons.
It's one of those movies, the more you watch it, the more you appreciate it.
Even talking about it, I was tired today. I've been up since early in the morning, but as soon as we started talking about it, I just get that energy, that clown energy.
Yeah. Well, many have said you are a clown.
I've heard it before.
All right, let's get into the movie because we got to break this baby down. Movie starts out on top of the world. That's what it's like called, on top of the world at Lover's Lane. So a place many of you youngsters may not know about. I don't know. Do they still do this?
You talk about just hanging out in the cars and making out?
Yeah.
Dude, I had that in my notes. I was going to ask you, was this a thing? People used to just park cars next to each other and make out?
You've never made out in a car?
I've never parked next to other people also making out in the car.
I've definitely gone on a hilltop in a car, but not with multiple people making out.
Yeah, not with a line of people like hooking up. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, they're a little packed, but I mean, I think it'd be cool if you just like took your own areas.
I think it's incredibly odd.
In high school, dude, you do what you got to do.
I mean, in high school, you're just a dog.
Yeah.
Dog trying to lay the bone. What's that phrase? What's that saying?
Lick the bone.
No, that's not it. A dog trying to bury his bone.
Well, that's not much better.
That sounds horrible.
All right, okay.
I don't know where that saying came from.
Yeah.
This guy.
You just said it. I don't even know what
you used to say it all the time in high school.
What? I used to do it all the time in high school. I'm just kidding. All right, so we're introduced to our two main characters who are Mike and Debbie. And I got to be honest, they're classing it up. These guys are drinking wine up there.
I know. I thought the same thing too. I'm like, wine. I don't like being too critical of these movies, but honestly, in high school.
Hold on. Why are we saying high school?
Yeah, I don't even think they're in high school.
I think these are like college kids.
You're right. I think they are. But still, wine on like a makeout point, that's a beer. That's a beer event.
I don't know. I respect the class.
It's cool. Whatever.
I wouldn't do it, but whatever. And we meet Mike and Debbie. They're going to be throughout this whole movie. Those are our main characters. We also meet the Terenzi brothers who arrive in an ice cream truck. And then these guys are like the clowns of the movie.
I'd say we could relate to the Terenzis.
We could.
We'd be up there selling ice cream.
Yeah. And these guys are master marketers. All right.
Well, they're hustlers.
They're hustlers. Yes. They have some classic lines. I threw a couple in here for you guys. A tasty treat for while you screw. We'll give you the stick. You give it a lick. Well, that's, I think, two of their major ones.
Yeah, so while everyone's making out up on this cliffside, they're out there selling ice cream to these people.
They're hawking cream is what they're doing. But they didn't just come up here just to hawk the cream.
All right, you got to change your phrasing on this. This is like it started out sideways.
They also brought a couple of hog mollies up with them.
What kind of girl else you think we are?
Dude, that had me cracking up. They got two thick girls to eat ice cream because they're trying to hook up with them.
And I'm not just knocking their appearance, but they didn't look that bad. I'm just saying they make it clear these girls are here to eat ice cream, and that's it. That's all they wanted to do. They don't want to like hook up.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were thick girls that like to eat, and these guys saw an opportunity and took a shot. Shooters got to shoot.
Shooters got to shoot, but it didn't go. The girls weren't down for it. Anyways, so they end up, the Trenzies leave, whatever. Mike makes it clear when he's with Debbie, he loves these guys.
Knuckleheads.
You know those guys.
Those guys are my best friends from school. Whenever I want to have a good time, I call Rich and Paul.
Oh, yeah, they're his best boys.
His best boys, and he's just like, I love these guys, you know?
His acting is not good, but it's really funny. Dude, again, it couldn't fit better in this movie.
It's great. Like, seriously, bad acting is great in this movie. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it's wonderful.
You know why? Because it's fun. He seems like a good, like, fun guy to be around.
I bet you in real life he's a blast.
I don't know about that. Unconfirmed, but maybe.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Mike and Debbie are making out, and they see an asteroid or comet, whatever you want to call it, shoot through the sky. And that's the start of the movie. The clowns are arriving. So not only do they see it, we see old farmer Gene Green and Pooh see it as well.
Dude,
Pooh's his dog.
Was this guy even speaking English?
He's a total like hillbilly type dude.
Yeah, you could barely understand the words he was saying, except for Pooh. His name is Dog Pooh.
Yeah, he seems like he'd be from more like Louisiana or something.
Did you see that little old sky jockey zip down in there, Pooh?
Yeah, the South, deep South.
Yeah. So anyways, Pooh and the farmer go to explore the site. This is where we first see the spaceship. It's disguised as a giant circus tent. So while he's up there kind of checking out the lay of the land, we see a giant clown silhouette in the tent, and all of a sudden a portal's opened. The clown puts a fishing net out, scoops Pooh up, Pooh's gone.
Yeah, the dog. The clown reached out and took the dog. Unconfirmed whatever happened to the dog, by the way.
That dog's dead.
We don't know. Maybe they like pets. We don't. They're killer clowns. They could like anything. We don't know.
They have a pet, but it's not a dog.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll get to it.
That's totally true. But no, I did like that. Then the farmer guy gets all upset. Then he starts beating the tent with his hand.
Well, he punches it, but it's like made of metal, so it like breaks his hand or something.
Well, the funny thing is the dog disappears and he just assumes that the tent took it, which I wouldn't think that.
Well, he like found the dog's bandana or something. I don't know.
Why would you ever think that the tent just took the dog, though?
Dude, a clown's just arrived in a tent. You can't nitpick.
They don't know it's clowns yet.
A giant circus
All right,
tent.
right.
Like, we can't, this isn't one you nitpick the details.
That's my bad. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, he ends up grabbing like one of the supports of the circus tent, which is electrified. He gets electrocuted. Jumbo the clown comes out, cotton candies him. Our first cocoon.
And our first, did we get to see the clown at that point?
Well,
yeah,
this is our first look.
Dude, and these guys are gnarly looking. They look great, honestly. I don't know what is it, just a clown costume? I guess it's just a big mask. It's not like puppetry, right?
I don't think so, but they almost look clayish.
Yeah, they got a great look. They're like thick clowns, big old white gloves.
They have like big features too, like their face features are kind of crazy.
It's almost like a bear-ish, you know? Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
I don't know why. It reminds me of a bear, like a clown bear.
Anyways.
Bear clown?
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. No, the clowns are cool. And then as we get through, we're going to see all different types: short, fat, big, small. They're weighted in different weird ways. Like some areas are bigger than they should be. I don't know.
I'd say there's a clown for every different type of person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and they do look scary too, especially like when they laugh. It's just, there's something kind of disturbing about these clowns, but also like fun.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of plays with you. Sometimes you're like, I like the clowns, but they're also bad people.
Yeah.
Clowns,
No, I mean,
aliens.
I'm going to go on record and say I do like the clowns.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, so we meet, we jump over, we meet the local authorities. There's Dave and Mooney are our main cops of this. Like, there's not much more.
No, Mooney is like the old vet cop. Dave's the young guy, maybe just got out of training or whatever. He's ready.
Ish. He seems like a good cop. I would also say there's a guy who is a good police officer, and there's one that's a horrible police officer.
Well, and Mooney's just cranky, and he's ready to get after these college kids. He's had enough. You imagine throughout his career, he's dealt with a lot of drunk college kids.
It's a beautiful night. We were walking around. We didn't do nothing.
And it's scum like you that are killing this town.
He's ready to take out his anger on him.
Yes, this is old school policing, okay? We'll get to it. So Mooney ends up arresting 2 punks who were drinking in the park on their way to the dorms. They're college kids, and these are like goth punk kids.
Yeah.
Something like that. Mooney doesn't like these kids. He thinks they're all scum, and he's got that old cop mentality, very touchy, like grabbing, pushing them, very angry. This guy, I mean, he assaults people.
Yeah, he's not a good cop at all. This stuff wouldn't fly today.
Yeah, but not only does he hate the kids, he hates Dave. The fact that Dave went to like a police academy, he doesn't like that.
Yeah, he's mad at everyone. He's just crotchety. Good word? Crotchety?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, so that's Mike and Dave. We'll get back to no, sorry, that's Dave. That's Dave and Mooney. Mike and Debbie, now we're back with them. They also went to search for where that comet landed. They arrived at the circus tent, but they don't get grabbed right away. They get to go inside and explore. So we see the inside of the ship, which is just full of weirdness. It's like a lot of bright colors, a lot of like different buttons and stuff. And they make their way into like their elevator system. Like they go in and it like turns.
Yeah, they just hit like these random buttons on the wall. Yeah, and they're right. The elevator, it turns, opens up, and they just go in and press some buttons and boom.
Yeah.
Who knows where they went? Somewhere else. So this is, just to be clear, this is the spaceship.
Yes, the giant circus tent is the spaceship.
So the clowns who live in outer space somewhere, I don't know if they have a planet, we don't know. They might just live on a spaceship. But
Possible.
but they have landed on Earth in the clown tent, which is a spaceship.
Well, from this is going to like current events. We learned that aliens now live in the oceans, so maybe they're from the ocean.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Okay, I'm joking, but whatever. There's a lot of weird aliens.
Are you joking though?
Well, I mean, I don't know, but that is a lot of the alien talk nowadays. Anyways, they go in the ship. Debbie, so they go and they see this room with like this giant electric orb. It kind of looks similar to that thing. You see the orb that you touch and it kind of shocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, my son has one of those things where he touches like lightning, the touching your fingertips type thing.
Yeah.
And just the vibe in there too. Very bright, colorful. It's like a big old clown tent. You know what I'm saying?
You don't get to, this ship gets a lot more interesting later on in the movie.
There's also like a bubble filled with popcorn that's just like popping in there.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. So Debbie puts everything together, realizes that the tent is the shooting star. So she kind of like solves this pretty early on, that this tent is this like spaceship or something. So the clowns end up coming. Mike and Debbie, there's like a little bit of a chase. They take the elevator. Well, actually, it's not a chase. The clowns show up. They try to hide. So they take the elevator down to the cotton candy layer. That's where we see they're harvesting. It's going to be they're harvesting humans. They turn them into these cotton candies. They look like ornaments that they hang up on these hooks.
Yeah,
right?
all bright pink ornaments.
Right. So the clowns end up coming down, and we see one of them is in like using like a cotton candy machine. And sorry, that's the wrong word. A popcorn machine. So there's just like weird stuff going on here.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. And I will say too, when the clowns chase, they're funny because they have those big shoes. You kind of just squeak in the way they run. It's just really the slow, methodical run after them. But it's just fun.
Yeah, I failed to mention when they found the cocoons, they did wipe one of the cotton candies, and it's like people's faces. It's like one was like one of their friends and the farmer or something.
That is very important because we find out that is the sole purpose of the clowns, to turn them into cotton candy.
Yes.
One of the purpose. And I think they just generally like to kill people.
Yeah, I think it's just who they are.
I think they said at one point.
Maybe. I think he does when the Mooney turns into a puppet. We'll get to it. So Mike and Debbie end up getting spotted as they're trying to like sneak out. There's a chase. They end up getting shot with a popcorn gun, which actually just shoots popcorn and hits him. Again, it's weird. And to that, Debbie says, "Why popcorn?" Mike says, "Because they're clowns. That's why." And that's this movie.
And as an audience member, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. It checks out.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? How great would it be to be on the meeting when they came up with this idea, or when they pitched this idea to make this a movie?
Oh, it's amazing that it got made.
Drugs, kids. Drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. So the chase goes on. Mike and Debbie are running away. Spiky, one of the clowns, comes, makes a balloon animal dog. Which is, I would say, the greatest character in the movie. It's a dog made out of balloons that actually like walks and it has a little bit of a personality to it.
Yeah, they create this out of nothing, and the thing is now going to track the people. It's a tracking dog, of course.
A tracking balloon animal dog.
If this movie couldn't get wilder, right?
It's great.
And this is just the beginning.
Yeah. So, anyways, the clowns chase him. Mike ends up like running him over, and they get away for now.
And is this the scene where we get to? I love that one scene where the clowns get. I think it's maybe this where they get up and then the music hits and they're walking towards the city.
This is where the clowns
Dun,
descend
dun, dun.
into Crescent Cove.
Yeah, that's an awesome scene. I don't know why, I just love it.
Yeah, you see all the clowns marching in, and it's just cool. The whole vibes are cool.
Yeah, just a great time.
Yeah, and again, we get a good look at all the different types of clowns that we'll see here. So that's probably why you like it. There's short ones, fat ones, big ones, tall ones, skinny ones. There's even female clowns. That comes later.
Dude, that's so funny.
That comes later. So Mike and Debbie end up going to the police station, and they meet Dave. They explain that Joe Lombardo, I don't know why that always makes me laugh, because they always say Joe Lombardo, you know, specifically. And the farmer were in those cotton candy cocoons. They explain the whole thing. It's a spaceship. There's popcorn guns. And Mooney ain't having any of it here.
Well, rightfully so. Because I struggled when I was watching this movie, because at the time, the good cop, what's his name? Dave? Is that right? Checks out. Dave he's kind of going along with this, but anyone rational would be like, okay, these kids are on drugs or something. There's no way this is real. So even though Mooney's kind of crotchety, at this point, I would be skeptical as well.
Yep, that is true. Well, he's got a few. Oh, do you have something?
There's no way you would believe this until you saw it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, I don't know. I would actually think it's a person dressed as a clown.
That's true. Yes. That is what you would think. Yeah. In fact, the better way to sell it is not to say they're killer clowns from outer space. It's just to say, hey, there's some people dressed up as clowns killing people.
That would work.
Boom.
That would work.
Not as fun of a movie, though.
No. So Mooney has some great lines here, okay?
Killer clowns from outer space. Holy shit.
Dude, I love when they say the title of the movie in the movie.
Oh, me too. Me too. But I love that because he's so sarcastic, you know? And here's another line. When he listens to some stuff that Debbie told Dave some things, and Mooney responds to it.
Who are you gonna believe? Me or this little tramp?
Shots fired.
Aggressive.
Dude. Poor Debbie.
Yeah, a little tramp, he says.
But that shows you what Mooney is, dude. This dude's just firing.
Well, and then we have a little bit of foreshadowing in his next one.
Make a dummy out of yourself, but you're not gonna make a dummy out of me.
Oh, hold up. Hold up.
We're not going to get to that yet. All right, back with the clowns. All right, so I scrolled too far, so
You're all over the place, bro.
I did
scrolling is going wild.
I did an aggressive scroll. I'm back in. Here we
You're
go.
gonna change your lines, dude. You gotta scroll like 3 lines max.
All right, so one of the clowns ends up making it into town, and he goes to the drugstore. Now, this is where you first start to see these clowns aren't just these killer clowns. They take the clown part in too because they're funny.
So that's the thing, honestly, that really makes this show so fun, is that the clowns like to mess with people. They do each almost have their own little personality.
Yeah, they're not just simple aliens that look like clowns. They embody what it is to be a clown.
I mean, that sounds so stupid, but you're right. They may be the best clowns I've ever seen.
I mean, they're some of my favorite.
They're the origin.
Yeah. So they get to the drugstore. This drugstore scene, by the way, it's like, I'm going to kind of go over a lot of it, but this like scene goes on for a long time and it kind of comes back and forth throughout the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyways, this clown comes and when he gets to the front of the store, there's an animatronic monkey that's kind of moving back and forth doing this kind of thing. And he decides, like, he hears some people coming or something. He decides he's going to be an animatronic too. So he stands on the other side of the door and he's doing his little thing.
I thought it was so funny. He just to blend in, and people bought it. And I guess you would. I guess you would probably think it's real. But dude, that was hilarious. It's
Again,
like, why?
Well, because the clown could just kill these people. They don't want to do it. They like to play games.
Yeah, they're just messing around.
Yeah. So anyways, he does that whole thing. He ends up going in the stores. They don't show this, but they end up cocooning a bunch of the people. They're just cocoons in there. They're messing around. They're doing a bunch of weird stuff. Like they're going through the products. They're spraying shaving cream on each other. When they sneeze in powder, it goes all over the place. Just acting a fool.
Yeah, they're just kind of just destroying the store for some reason. I even tried to look at the products. I don't know that it really mattered what I don't think they're really interested in buying anything. And by the way,
no. Well, they were though. They did take all the stuff to the counter at one point.
But what was it?
It was a pile of stuff, and when he was wearing a hat.
Well, there you go. By the way, though, when people get cocooned, they're dead, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
There's a cocoon method. There's just the killing method that they do sometimes. And then there's also the bubble method.
The bubbles is reserved for one person, though.
Yeah. Well, I think they say at some point other people were bubbled, but we never saw that. So I don't know.
Did they? Oh, I never.
In the
I
ship,
never
they
saw
did.
it.
At the end.
Yeah, and during this whole scene too in the store, the store clerk is like sitting there and
It's funny, he's an old man, and the whole time it's just confused and shocked. He never got out of that loop. He got stuck.
It's like for hours he did
Dude,
that.
I mean, it was a long. I mean, there was probably a good 7 shots of him just confused and startled. Which I don't blame him, man. The clowns were wild.
Okay, we got to move on to the greatest horror puppet show ever.
Oh, dude, I know you love this scene, and it is great.
It's the best. First of all, I love the setting. Okay, there it's like they have a what is it, like a stall, it's
puppet
like
tent.
It's like something you'd see at a fair or something, like a little
booth.
Yes, a booth with 2 puppets. So there's a girl puppet and a guy puppet. One with the girl has pink hair, guy has green hair, and then there's kind of a dweeb dude who's just standing there by himself, and he just kind of stumbles across this.
Yeah, he just happens to run into this show.
And he's like enjoying it, as weird as this whole thing is.
Are we going to talk about the story arc of the puppet show?
Yes, we are. We
Okay.
are. Because there is a story arc. So it's a boy and a girl puppet, and you can tell the boy is in love with the girl.
I don't know about love or lust, but something.
He wants the girl, but the girl's not having it. She's backing away from him, pushing him away, right?
Right.
Then finally she's had enough, and she disappears out of scene.
If we're not clear, these are puppets, hand puppets we're watching.
Sock puppets?
I don't know what the difference between a hand and a sock puppet is.
I think a sock puppet. These are puppet. Yeah, hand puppet, whatever. So the girl drops below, only to return with a laser gun. She aims it over at the boy, and she shoots him, lasers the boy puppet.
And the boy puppet disappears. And the guy watching is just love it. He's like, oh my gosh, this is great. Best puppet show I've ever seen.
And then the best part ever, the girl slowly turns and puts the laser on him.
And then he realizes he's in trouble now.
Then we see the Spiky the clown rise up, and these clowns are huge too. They're like 7 feet tall.
Oh, dude, this guy was a freaking giant.
Yeah, he shoots him, and we see the cotton candy ray gun in action, turns him into a cocoon.
Best scene I've ever seen.
Yes. Yeah, it was. I mean, seriously, I couldn't love that anymore.
The whole thing, just so ridiculous and fun.
It had a little bit of everything: love, romance,
Murder,
terror, murder. Yeah, it was a little bit of everything. All right, we've followed by a clown montage where they go around cocooning people. Okay, now some of these scenes didn't take place in this, but they at times will just jump to a random scene. I just threw a bunch in together.
Yeah, because at this point, really, it's just all about the clowns are now branching out and they're terrorizing the city.
Right.
Right.
So the couple of my favorite. All right, we have the classic clown pizza delivery. Now this is an iconic one too. So the clowns ring the doorbell. They're holding a pizza box because again they're coming to help. They like to play the trick, right?
Yeah.
They're delivering a pizza to the people, and everyone's always happy to see them.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, clowns bringing pizza. This is great.
Yeah,
This isn't weird at all.
No, until the box flies open, Shorty comes out with a ray gun. Boom, cocooned.
How did he fit in that box?
He wouldn't. Yeah, I mean they're clowns. You can't look into that.
But we never see shape shifting. But whatever. Okay.
They fit in the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah. Another clown we have, I think his name's Fatso.
Yeah.
These clowns have names. It doesn't matter. So anyways, another heavyset clown arrives with a little candy heart box for the patrons. I don't know.
And even their faces, though, it's like he's trying to be sweet, giving it to her.
Yes. And then she takes the candy heart, thinks it's from someone else, and he shoots her the ray gun. Great.
Savages, dude.
Okay, this happens a lot later, but at the Big Top Burger, we also see Jumbo. He does the finger lure to a little girl. This one was actually kind of weird. Like, it was a little bit like, oh, you're like nervous. Like, don't go near him, little girl, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, this one kind of shifted to like a little bit darker.
Yeah. And he had a giant mallet behind his back, but this girl gets saved by her mom. She doesn't get I don't know what he was. That looked like he was gonna hit her in the head with a hammer.
Well, yeah, he had the big old mallet behind his back. I mean, these are killer clowns. They don't discriminate against age.
Maybe there's a scene where that happened.
It was weird though, because you don't really see them going after kids except for that scene.
Or smashing people with mallets, but whatever. Another one that happened is the invisible car. So, and there's actually some trivia to this, and I'll save it for the very end. But a guy driving a car is shocked when he sees a clown driving an invisible car, which rams him off the road, and he crashes down in a ditch.
Dude, it's hard to remember what my first impression was the first time I saw this movie. But dude, this would be a wild ride on your first watch. Like all these crazy scenes happening.
When I saw the puppet show, I fell in love.
It's just genius, pure genius. It really is just so fun.
All right, so back onto the main storyline. Dave takes Mike and Debbie home. Okay, so they went to the police station. Dave kind of believes him enough to at least investigate.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna get to the next point. So
yeah, so we learned that Dave is actually Debbie's old boyfriend.
Right.
So there's a little bit of tension between Dave and Mike. But Dave's like, you know what, Debbie, we'll go investigate. You shouldn't come with us, which actually is a smart move. Go home, stay there. Me and Mike will go check it out. Mike and Dave arrive where the tent was, only to find a massive crater. Mike tries to explain that, hey, there was a tent here. Dave doesn't believe it. He thinks it was all a joke. But he doesn't also, like, to me, he doesn't give credit. Like, there is a giant, massive crater here.
Actually, that's a great point. Why would that crater be there? Because I just took it like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, oh, okay, I can understand why he would think that they were messing with him. But you're right. They can't create a giant crater.
It's huge. Yeah.
So the clown tent has moved to a new location, TBD.
TBD, yes. Anyways, Dave ends up arresting Mike, thinking this is all a prank that they're playing on him. The whole thing with this, too, is they all think, the cops think the Terenzi brothers, because they are kind of jokesters, it's the guys in the ice cream truck. They think they're playing a joke on the entire town about these clowns being on the loose.
Right. Because, again, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense that killer clowns are killing people. Unexpected.
Correct. Okay, we got to get into my next favorite scene of this movie.
Oh,
it's definitely one of my top scenes in Killer Klowns.
Yeah.
The badass biker gang.
Hey, Eddie, that a new bike you got?
What's happening, Spike?
Maybe a little fruity biker gang, too. It's confusing. Some of them look kind of tough. Some of them don't look so tough.
I wouldn't say they're very menacing.
Yeah, I don't know. They're hanging out in an alley.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, biker gangs do, just hang out in alleys.
I've never been a part of a biker gang. I don't know, but I think more like in the bar, but maybe they're having a smoke outside.
Maybe there was like a bar, a speakeasy, as one might say, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, they're hanging out, drinking. There's some women involved. You can tell they're just up to no good. Then we see little Shorty pull up on his tricycle. And if you don't know, Shorty is a cute little clown.
Yep.
Cute, subjective.
No, he's definitely a cute little clown.
So he pulls up on his little bicycle to these, tough bikers, right?
Big bad JoJo coming into town.
And there's some back and forth between him and the bikers. And this is where you see the clowns can communicate a little, because he does a little bit of like, mm-hmm.
Can I take a ride?
Yeah. And the Shorty's coming there pretty peaceful, but they just start picking on him, which is the wrong thing to do in this situation.
Yes, and we'll find out why. So the enforcer ends up kind of coming over, right? They have the biggest, toughest guy comes over, and he's gonna clown Shorty.
Ooh, I like what you did there.
So he picks up his bike and just smashes it, which is just a mean thing to do.
Yeah, even if he wasn't a killer clown, that's not nice.
Yeah. To that, Shorty kind of like just phases up into the air, disappears, then kind of lands all of a sudden with boxing gloves on. And you kind of hear him say, like, put up your duke.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
so they can't speak.
And he's cute. He's doing like he's like a tiny little guy. He's doing these little boxing things, like kind of doing some shadow boxing.
But he's doing it in like a playful way at this point.
Yeah. So they're all kind of laughing until the Shorty gives him an uppercut and knocks this guy's head off.
Dude, that was crazy.
Like his head completely off.
Yeah, just detached straight into the trash, at which point everyone's like, oh my God, they split up and it's chaos.
Yeah, loved it.
I mean, I couldn't have written a better scene myself.
Dude, there's so many of these. maybe at the end we'll say our top one, but there's multiple. I mean, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna say the puppet show is my favorite, but there's another one coming up that's great.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Dave drives up to the top of the world again with Mike in the car, the Lover Lane spot. They end up finding a car that is actually covered with cotton candy. So Dave realizes like this is real. He ends up letting Mike out of the back of the car, uncuffs him. He's a believer. He realizes, I think there may be killer clowns.
Yeah, all because he saw cotton candy in a car and glasses.
Correct.
Which, okay. I'll but you know what? I'm here for it. I'll believe that.
I mean, that easily could have been part of the whole prank too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he still has not seen a body, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. Back with Mooney at the police station. This guy is getting just bombarded with calls about these killer clowns. And he just thinks it's like prank calls. This guy is like the worst cop.
Yeah, because even if you weren't buying into the killer clowns, which I understand, you're getting a lot of calls about something bad that's going on.
Right.
And he is furious with them, and he thinks everyone is messing with him.
This is all part of the Terenzi brothers plot. So he just decides to pour a little Jack in a styrofoam cup and just move on with his day.
Yeah, like you put there. Worst cop ever.
Yeah. And we'll get back. We're not done with old Mooney just yet.
Oh, dude, he gets what's coming to him.
Yes. So Debbie's back at her house. She decides to take a shower. She gets a little bit undressed.
All right.
Well, she does get undressed. They don't show much. Anyways, popcorn falls off her because remember, she got hit with the popcorn gun back in the spaceship. And you can see that the popcorn is moving a little strange.
It's sentient.
Yeah, I mean, strange. It's moving. That is strange.
Yeah, just the fact that popcorn can move, yeah, and it is within itself strange. Yeah.
Yes, and on the same vein, is that on the same vein? In the same vein, whatever. We see Jumbo outside of that Big Top Burger, and he pours a bunch of popcorn in a dumpster. Soon after, an employee arrives, and we see the employee get sucked into the dumpster by the popcorn. So we know this popcorn is bad.
Right. Okay, were we going into what it is yet, or no?
No, we're not.
Okay, well, hold. You'll find out soon.
So now we got to get to another scene of one of my favorite clown tricks.
Clowntality?
Now we're going to get to my favorite clowntality. One of my favorite. So a clown arrives outside the bus station, right? Or bus stop. It's a bus stop. And there's like a little crowd waiting for the bus. So he decides he's going to put on a little hand puppet show. What's it called when you use your hands with a light?
Yeah, that might be
light puppet,
hand puppetry
show.
Yeah, he's using his hands with light to create shadows in shapes of things that we recognize.
So he does this. He makes a rabbit, and at first the rabbit was like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of cool." Then he does an elephant. This thing's making noise.
Yeah, and not only that, he's attracted a crowd of elderly people.
There's a couple elderly. I think it's just people at a bus stop.
Okay.
But the elderly people love this.
Well, dude, it's next level hand puppetry.
Yeah.
Something we've never seen before.
I mean, it's amazing. He did, like I said, the elephant and its trunk's moving and it looks real.
Yeah.
Then he even does a George Washington crossing the Delaware.
That was an interesting one, which I loved it because it's so weird. It's like, wait, where did that one come from?
It was the best. I loved it. That is, it's kind of like, why?
But that's the whole thing that makes this whole movie. That is what it is. Why?
I love it so much. So he follows that up with a belly dancer.
A little sensual.
A little bit of something for everyone here. At this time, Mike and David they pull up in the police car and they're just kind of watching. Like, Mike wants to get out and help, and Dave's like, hold on. We got to see what's going on, right?
I mean, that's fair.
All right. This is where we have the finale of the hand puppetry. This clown makes a giant T-Rex with a glowing red eye, and it's up there and it's like menacing. And then it opens its mouth, boom, eats all the people.
Like, what the F, dude? Right? Yeah.
Yes.
I think he actually took the people and didn't he grab them and then put them in his pocket or something?
That was another weird, again, it's like they turned into popcorn. They went into his hand and he put them in a bag of popcorn. But it wasn't like little people. It just was, I guess, popcorn now. I don't know.
It doesn't really make sense, but it's amazing. That was a great kill. Again, who would have thought watching this that he turned a dinosaur hand puppet into a killer?
Yeah, it was great.
It was awesome.
So seeing this, Mike freaks out. And he really does freak out. He grabs the wheel and somehow I guess Dave hits the gas. Well, either way, it doesn't matter. They try to run over the clown who just jumps like way up into the air, totally disappears.
Yeah, where do they go when they jump?
They just go wherever they want.
I was going to say their spaceship, but their spaceship is located somewhere else now. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a warp.
Yeah. Dave ends up calling Mooney after this, who just won't listen. Doesn't really matter. Mike and Dave decide to split up. Mike's going to go warn his friends. Dave is going to go back to the police station.
So now that he's getting buy-in, well, yeah, obviously the cop knows. But, still, though, the town doesn't seem aware. They're just randomly picking people off left and right.
Yeah.
It's not mass panic yet.
Yeah. I don't even know if it ever really gets mass panic.
I don't think so.
Yeah. The clowns kind of overrun the city pretty quick.
Yeah, it goes from 0 to 100 real quick.
So Mike runs into the Terenzi brothers, and he tells them about the Killer Klowns. He talks them into obviously they're skeptical too. He talks them at least taking him to Debbie, only after he tells them that she's got 2 roommates with big boobs.
Dude, these two are, they're little fiends. You know what I'm saying?
They got one thing on their mind. Or I guess 2 things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. The Terenzi brothers. Great characters.
Dude, they are a lot of fun. Just doofuses.
Yeah.
2 doofuses.
Yes. So back at the police station with Mooney. So he's living his best life. He's smoking cigars, having a couple drinks, not answering phone calls at all. He's just letting the 911 phone just ring nonstop. He doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, he's had enough of being messed with.
Yeah. Then Jumbo arrives. This is a big, giant clown. So Jumbo arrives and he pulls out some flowers for Mooney, hands them to him, only to squirt him in the face.
I thought that was pretty disrespectful, but I liked it.
Yeah, at this point, you're kind of like tired of Mooney in the movie. I mean, not tired of him, but you're like, this guy deserves something.
Isn't it kind of funny how it is almost every kill they like to mess with him? There's rarely a time where they don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great part about it. That'd be boring if they just killed him.
Yeah, it would.
You got to play a little game. So Mooney gets mad. He ends up handcuffing the clown, only to have the clown's hands and handcuffs they came completely off.
Yeah. What would you think was going through his mind at this point?
He still didn't believe it.
No.
I think he thought it was just a prank. It was like fake hands.
I mean, that's quite the prank.
Yeah, I know.
Plus, it looks crazy.
It does. And this is a giant clown, too.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, he ends up taking the clown into the cell. One of my favorite parts, this is like a small detail, but as the clown goes into the cell, he tries to hit it over the head with his, his flashlight. He's just such a dick.
Mooney took a swing at him?
Yeah, Mooney just tried to hit him, or he did hit him, but it's like, this is the type of cop he is. He's like, the clown was kind of getting the best of him, and as the clown turned his back, Mooney was going to get a hit over the head.
But the clown was listening to him at that point, which it's like, there's no need to swing at him.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it. So anyways, whatever, that happened. Then, okay, this is going to get weird because I don't remember what this thing is called, but it's the thing... The clown put that thing in your mouth that you blow that unwinds and makes like a noise kind of thing. Oh, yeah.
You see him for like New Year's Eve parties or something.
Yeah, it goes...
Yeah, and then it like extends out and then goes back in.
Yeah, so the clown's locked behind the cell. By the way, he's in the cell with the 2 punk college kids. So anyways, Mooney's on the outside of the cell. He just locked him in. The clown blows that thing. It turns into like a hand kind of thing, whatever. It grabs Mooney, it slams him against the cell and knocks him out.
You know what's scary about the clowns? Well, one, that was cool. But what's scary is almost anything can get you killed with them. There's no rules to clowns.
No.
Yeah.
Anything.
Nothing. Yeah.
Even things like a pie, you may think are safe. Anyways, one of my favorite lines too is after the clown does that. Now, these 2 college kids are trapped in the cell with this clown. They just saw him knock out the guard with this, I don't even know what you call what I just described. And they look at him and they go, "What are you in for?"
I did think that was funny because it's just such a stupid line. Plus, they were probably pretty scared at that point.
Yeah. So this all happens at the station. Well, Dave arrives only to find clown footprints all over the station leading back into the cell. When he gets to the cell, there's a couple of new cocoons.
You know what was funny? Do you find it funny? These clown footprints, if you want to call them that, because they didn't really look, they looked like footprints, but they totally looked like plastic or something. But they were all over the walls too.
Yeah, so they went into the cell at first, and then once like it went into the room, they were like on walls and everything.
Yeah, it's like, so did they walk on the walls?
Who knows? Again, you can't look that far into it, man. So he finds the
new.
let me try that again. He finds the cocoons in the cell. He goes back into the office to find the clown sitting there with a friend.
He's got a Dave puppet.
Nope. Let's try again.
What?
We'll start over.
He's got a Mooney puppet.
He's got a Mooney. Mooney has turned into a puppet. Even drew the lines like the puppet, like he is a puppet now.
Yeah, so the clown's sitting there holding this puppet, which is Mooney, in his hand.
Well, he's not really holding him. His hand is actually inside of Mooney.
Well, we'll find that out later.
Yeah. So anyways.
Where do you think his hand went?
It went into his back, all right? Don't be weird. So anyways, Mooney has a couple lines, whatever. The clown ends up getting up, trying to attack Dave. Dave ends up pulling out his gun, aims for that big red nose, blocka, pops it.
Yeah, so that's when we find out the clown's weakness. You hit him in the nose, they're done.
Yeah, it turns him into like a green spinning tornado that explodes.
Yeah, you know what? I just took it as what it is. That is a weird way to kill, for the clowns to die. Green tornadoes.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So after this whole event, Dave ends up getting on the radio, calls in the neighboring police department, and they're coming to help. They'll eventually get here at the end of the movie. I guess they get here. You're not going to worry about them. I'm just letting you know it happened.
Yeah, we should also say this police station, it seems like there's only 2 people working in this town.
Yeah, it's small town, small cops, whatever.
Yeah, and there's only one because Mooney's dead, so now it's just Dave.
Yeah, true.
Thank
All
you.
right. So Mike and the Trinity brothers end up coming across a clown parade. So they're driving around now together in the ice cream truck. And we see that what is going on. Like the clowns have formed a parade with like giant floats. One of them, though, is like a giant cocoon sucking float.
Yeah, so now it makes sense. They've cocooned people all over town. Now they got to harvest the cocoons.
Yeah,
Because you can't carry those all to the ship.
No, so they have like a tube. They suck them up, and then they take them back to the ship, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Of course.
Yes. And there's tons of these clowns, by the way. They're all over the place.
I did like the clown parade because you get to see all the different clowns together.
Yeah.
It's a nice little community event for them.
Yeah,
Clown
exactly.
Pride. Clown Pride event.
That's funny. All right, so Debbie finally gets out of the shower. Again, that scene started like 20 minutes ago, but
You know what's funny? Debbie wasn't even in this movie hardly at all.
no, not really. She's not she's a big part of the movie, but she's kind of in the beginning, in the end, but she's gone for most of it.
It really Mike's the main character beside of Dave.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Trenzies are kind of in there too.
Well, the Trinsies are like standouts. Anytime they're in a scene, I just enjoy the scene because they're just funny.
Yeah. So anyway, so Debbie gets out of the shower. She hears some strange noises, opens up the laundry basket and finds snake clowns or something. I don't know how to describe these things.
It looks
clown
like flower.
a clown flower.
It looks like a stalk from, in Mario when you beat the level and you climb up that big stalk thing.
Yeah.
It's like that with a clown head on top of it.
But it's like a vicious clown head with teeth.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I almost thought? I'm like, is this how clowns are born? Is this like an infant clown?
But they have multiple heads.
It probably isn't. I just thought that.
Okay. Well, let's keep those thoughts to ourselves.
So these are just like vicious. This is like a trap, a clown flower trap.
Sure. I guess.
They just sprinkle them around. Those things attack anyone that's close to them.
Yeah. That's what I guess happened to the dumpster guy.
Yeah, these clowns, though, they don't really have personalities, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like almost like they're pets. I don't know.
What? No, these are not pets. Anyways, they're in the toilet. They're in the laundry basket. They're in the cabinets. She ends up getting out of there, goes to the front door, and she hears Mike. Opens the door. It's not Mike. Clowns can pretend they can use the voice or whatever. What do you call it? Mimic?
Debbie!
Mimic, yeah. That's, which I did think it was cool. I wasn't expecting that. Even though I've seen it so many times, it actually surprised me. I thought it was Mike at first.
So did I. I forgot what happened here. So she runs away from that clown, goes to the window, and I love this part. She goes to jump out the window, and there's 4 clowns standing below. She's at like a second story, I guess. They stand below with like a little trampoline to catch her.
So they're, for some reason, and I don't really know why, they've decided they want her.
Yeah.
Like she's special for some whatever reason because they've all gathered around to get her.
Right. And they're not going to kill her yet.
No, well, we'll get there.
Yeah. So they end up surrounding her and they ray gun her, but her ray gun's different. It's like a blue beam and it turns her into a giant, or it doesn't turn her into anything. It puts her in a giant yellow bubble.
Yeah, she can breathe in the bubble, but you might wonder why. They have other plans for her.
They do. Now, the physics of this bubble don't make sense. Like it's a big plastic-ish bubble that's like hard, but yet they can carry her around like a balloon and it looks soft.
Yeah, but it's clown balloon. It's a clown balloon. Clown bubble. What do you think they want her for? Is she for procreation?
I don't know. Maybe they just want a human, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe experimentation. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, Mike and the Trinsies arrive at the same time as the clowns are taking Debbie Bubble Girl away. They have their little clown car and they have the little bubble attached. It's like a balloon attached to it.
Yeah.
So they decide they're going to give chase. So we have Mike and the Trinzy brothers, and they're taking off following the car. Dave in his cop car sees this happening, and he follows the Trinzy brothers. So we have a little bit of a chase going on.
Right.
So as they're driving, the Trinzy brothers end up seeing the cop lights behind them, freak out, slam on the brakes. Dave runs into the ice cream truck.
Right. And now the whole point of that is now we all can go together.
Yes, we leave the cop car behind. They all get in the ice cream truck. And they follow to where this car went, which they figure out is the amusement park because there's the giant tent there now.
Well, they said, where would clowns be? And then I think Dave said, I know, the amusement park.
If you were a clown, where would you hide?
The amusement park. Great.
All right.
I think Mike probably said it.
Whoever. But, at the time, I'm like, well, that's stupid. How would you even know that? And then I'm like, oh, wait. Oh, where clowns would be, yeah.
It goes back. Yeah, it's clowns. So the clowns arrive at the amusement park first. And they meet the security guard who's guarding the crazy house. Okay, that's like one of the attractions. All the clowns get out of the car, but they're holding pies.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, they're going to hit him with pies. It's a fun little thing.
Yeah, and the security guard says, what are you going to do with those pies, boys?
To which he gets just melted by pie.
Yeah, they all throw pies. They hit him. They're not normal pies. These are acidic pies. And they melt him. And just to finish it off, Shorty takes a big cherry and sets it right on top. He's like an ice cream sundae now.
So apparently they can just manifest cherries as well.
Large cherries.
Unless he carried it they had it in his back pocket.
Am I wrong? Was it a huge cherry or did he put a little cherry on it?
No, I think it was big. It was a big size cherry.
Okay. It's like one of those things where you're like, did I just make that up?
No.
Okay.
Come on, you can't put a little cherry on that big old stack of ice cream. I don't know.
Human
Pie
cream? Whatever. I can go bad.
Yeah.
Anyways. So the clowns go into the attraction, whatever. We see that like behind the ride is like the giant tent. So I guess this is like the entrance into the ship now.
Yeah, they parked their ship in the amusement park.
Yeah. So anyways, inside our Dave and the Trinzy brothers arrive and they start exploring this whole attraction.
Ooh, scary.
And you can kind of get a feel for a little bit more of the interior. Again, giant colorful buttons. There's like a fog layer on it. And there's just weird buttons and doors.
Yeah, it's a weird clown ship. And it's going to get even weirder when they go deeper into the ship.
Yes, let's get weird right now. Because Dave ends up finding a door. And as soon as he opens it, so Dave and Mike are at the door. He opens it. The Trinzy brothers fall through like a trapdoor into a ball pit.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So they're in a ball pit. But they're not alone in this ball pit. As they look up, we see our first two lady clowns.
And this works out very well for the Trinzy brothers because all of a sudden their boobs start growing.
Yes, they have a special trick where their breasts inflate.
And the Trinzies are thrilled about this. They're not scared.
Are you Debbie's roommate?
And what happened next is up for discussion, but we'll get to it.
Should we just get to it now?
I think they just made out with these girls.
I think they like hook up with the clowns.
Yeah.
Because you see later their clothes are all tattered, but they have like kiss marks on their face.
Yeah, these guys went at it with space clowns.
Bro, I respect the Trinzies.
They don't give a shit.
I don't care about nothing, dude.
Oh, all right. So Mike and Dave end up making it down into like the cotton candy cocoon layer where we've been before, right? So there's one scene here that's just, it's stupid, but it makes me laugh every time. And I don't know why. It's the way Mike reacts. So they're looking through the cocoons and Dave has a shotgun and Mike comes around the corner and Dave like flashes him with a gun, like it sweeps his face, and Mike goes like, "Oh," but it's like a delayed reaction. You have to watch it. It makes me laugh every time.
Okay, well, I'll throw it up here for you guys because I don't remember that scene.
There's something about it that's just funny.
Do you think he really, like in real life, the guy pointed the gun at him and it startled him?
It almost did, but it's like a delayed reaction. You have to watch it. It just makes me laugh every time. Anyways, Fatso arrives, another big clown. And so Dave and Mike kind of hide. Fatso arrives. He takes out a big swirly straw, sticks it in a cocoon, and drinks like the blood out of it.
Yeah, so now we realize, I think humans are just snacks to them? Like a human soda?
I guess they just harvest them to eat, but maybe there's more, but that's what I understand.
Or to drink.
Drink, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you don't see them eat them.
No.
So, I don't know. It is what it is. Anyways, they end up finding Debbie in this cocoon layer in her giant orb, right? Dave decides the way to get her out, you got to shoot it, which works.
I mean, I thought that was a ballsy move, right? If it's an orb, it's very likely could have hit her, but it's okay.
Yeah, and Mike tried to warn him, but whatever. It worked out. He shoots it, it explodes, she pops out, she's alive.
Right, and then this is, we're going to see they're going to leave, and I'm telling you, this part, they said there's other people in those orbs.
There might be other people still alive in these balloons.
Come on, it's too late.
Dave!
I believe they did, and they just had to leave.
I never saw another one, though.
I never did either.
Yeah. So the clowns arrive, the chase is on, and they're running through they go through like different layers or different halls and stuff. And Dave is just out there blowing heads off. Like he's shooting noses. Clowns are exploding.
Yeah.
Exploding. So they end up going down. I mean, this is just to give you like, we're kind of in a funhouse vibe at this point. Like they go down a fire pole and they get off only to see like below them is like a monster.
Yeah, and it's like, again, a Mario reference. It's like that giant flower, you know, when you try to go on the little tunnel, the tubes.
Oh, yeah.
Little giant flower comes up, tries to bite you. That's what it is.
Similar, you're right. It is similar to that.
Very, very much Mario vibes in this place now. But no, what I do like, it's like each turn, everywhere they go, something weird and different is happening. Unexpected, one might say.
I would agree with that. Yeah, and it's fun. So they end up like making it out of there, and they go into a giant angler fish. You know, the fish that has a light that hangs over its head?
Yeah.
It's one of those, but it's like plastic or something.
I thought for sure they were going to get eaten.
I would see why you'd say that.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. It's just a decoration, I guess. They walk through that, and they end up in a room just filled with a bunch of balloons everywhere.
You know what sorry, I can't stop thinking about this. Killer Klowns 2. You know what it should be?
What?
When we visit their planet. Some space explorers venture out, have to land their ship on a distant planet.
I'm in.
Dude, wouldn't that be cool to see? Because I think about this tent thing. I'm like, oh, it's so much fun because it's crazy. All this weird clown stuff's going on. What if you went to the clown planet?
That could be great.
Yeah, because the reason I thought about that, because you talk about that angler fish. I'm like, oh, do they have those on their planet? Yeah. They have to, right?
I mean, I'm totally into that. I would watch that movie.
Yeah, there you go.
So stupid. So anyways, they go through the balloons and the clowns are like closing in on them quick. They find a door. They open it only to find another door. Open it, another door. We're in the classic thing where the door is getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
So finally they end up making it through. They go through, barricade the door. They're safe for a second from the clowns. Right?
Yes, that'd be correct, Dan.
Okay. So in this new room they're in, it's like a giant room, and in the middle is like a pedestal. Or it's kind of like a cake, a circular cake, but it's hard, whatever.
It is.
They don't stand on it.
It's almost like they're on a stage, right? Doesn't it
Ish.
feel that way?
Yeah. So as they go in, the clowns start to surround them. They're all carrying bats, and it's kind of like bats with nails and stuff.
Yeah, they're just kind of walking slowly and menacing up. They're ready to beat the heck out of them.
Yeah, they kind of took a dark turn with these clowns. Anyways, they end up climbing on the top. The clowns are getting closer and closer, about to get them when the Terenzi brothers blast through the wall in their ice cream truck and save the day.
Yeah, where were they? Oh, yeah, well, they're making out with the clown girls, and apparently they went back in their truck and blasted through.
I guess so.
Sure.
I guess so. So they pretend that the clown. So this is okay.
This part's great.
Yeah. So their truck has a clown on top of it. It's like a clown ice cream truck. So they decide they're going to pretend that they're like the leader of these clowns, and the clowns will follow what they say.
Do what I say or else. I am the great and powerful JoJo. I command you to stop. Do not hurt them.
And it worked.
It worked.
They were talking to the clowns, because the clown, like you said, on top of it, apparently they thought it was Papa Clown, because they all just stop and just start looking. Now, part of me, though, is also thinking they may have been in on the joke, too. Like, these clowns like to mess around. So they could have been like, let's pretend, okay.
I don't know. Or it was like the tone at which the PA operated at, like, mesmerized them or something. Because their little ears did like a little...
Dude, I love when their ears flicker.
Yeah. So anyways, they mesmerized them. It's great. It worked.
We're going to get out scot-free here. Is it Scott or Scotch?
Sure. So then, then all of a sudden, above the pedestal, a giant clownzilla gets lowered down.
Well, yeah, and all the clowns take off. You got the impression they were afraid of what was going to happen.
Right. So this is the scariest clown there is. It's like a T-Rex clown.
Yeah, and it came down on like wires. At first I thought they exposed the wires, like a bad effect. But no, like that the clowns actually have it hooked up to wires so they could lower it down for, I guess, for this event.
Yes, for this one time when this happens.
Yeah.
So the clownzilla attacks the ice cream truck. And at this point, Mike, Debbie, and Dave end up like getting out of it. But the Terenzi brothers are still inside. So the clown's attacking it, picks it up, throws it. The whole thing explodes.
Yeah, and let's be clear. The T-Rex clown, it moves very slowly and methodical, right? Like a giant.
Mm-hmm.
Like a giant would move.
Right.
It's not fast moving like that. Well, even the other clowns aren't really very fast, but this one's very slow.
Yeah, and it's huge.
Yeah, I guess due to its size, it can't move as fast.
Sure. So anyways, the truck explodes. Terenzi brothers at this time thought to be dead.
Presumed dead.
Mike, Debbie, and Dave make it out. They make it out alive, kind of.
Wait, I forgot to say, do you know why they want to get out of the truck?
Everyone out of the truck, come on. We can't, it's rented.
They say because it's a rental.
Oh, that's right. It's a rental. You got to stay in it. So Dave decides he's going to take a stand here and that Mike and Debbie just need to leave through the hole that the Terenzi brothers blew open, right?
Yeah, solid move.
Mike's the real hero of this movie.
Why?
Well, I mean, he's the one that like kills all these clowns and they couldn't have done it without him.
That'd be Dave.
God, I did it backwards. Damn it. I was good the whole time till then. So anyways, you see so Mike and Debbie make it out. You see the tent starting to get ready to leave. Like the supports get sucked up into it and it starts spinning and it kind of turns into like a big top, it just spins.
Twirling top. Yeah.
Right. So at this point, Dave's battling it out with Clownzilla. He ends up getting grabbed, picked up, only to pull out his badge, which has like a little sharp end on it, and sticks it in his nose, explodes the clown, explodes Clownzilla, but also explodes the giant top. The ship explodes into fireworks.
God, you know what's funny? I didn't even think about that. Why would killing Clownzilla destroy the ship?
It was kind of, I take it Dave was on the ship still. I don't know. It exploded the whole thing.
We'll just go with that. Side note, these killer clowns, it seems like they have a lot of experience in battle. Maybe get a protective shield over your nose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the one thing that like sticks out the furthest is what you're most susceptible to.
Seemingly the only way you could get killed that we've seen. Apparently you can also control them with your voice if you have a giant clown head too, but that's a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just protect the thing a little bit.
Yeah. Or just cover it once in a while.
Yeah, if someone's shooting a gun, just maybe walk backwards.
There's options.
I don't want to give them hints or anything how to survive, but that would be something I might do.
Okay.
Killer clowns out. Forget it. Next.
All right. So now the ship has exploded. Presumably they're all dead until the clown car falls out of the sky and lands.
Yeah, so the top was leaving, and there's a crowd now outside gathered watching this.
Right.
I guess police officers, I really don't remember.
I think there were I think that's where like the backup came.
Right. So yeah, so that little ice cream truck falls down, and what's inside?
We have Dave and the Terenzi brothers. So the Terenzi brothers, you may ask, how did they survive that explosion? They were in the back with the ice cream.
Yeah, they were in the cooler. Shielded them.
Yeah, no problem. How did they get onto this little car? Where did this little car come from? Nobody knows.
What little car?
The little clown car.
Is that what fell down?
Yes.
I thought it was the ice cream truck that fell down.
No, it's a clown car.
Whatever.
Yeah. So anyways, to end the movie, we have confetti falling from the sky, and Debbie says, "You think it's over?" Mike says, "Yeah, sure." And then they all get hit with pies in the face. The end.
Yeah, it leaves up to interpretation. Were those acid pies?
Could have been.
Great movie.
Great movie. Okay, final
What a
rating.
journey.
Killer
I don't even-
Clowns from Outer Space.
Here's what I'll say. I didn't want the journey to end. Even talking about it right now, I would love for another Killer Clowns. This thing could be a series, honestly.
Maybe.
Point being, well, I've said enough about how much I liked it, how fun it is. I'm gonna just throw my rating out. 8.7.
Wow. Interesting.
It's my style of movie. It's goofy, it's fun, lighthearted, entertaining. 8.7.
Okay, I'm giving it a 9.4.
I went too low.
Yeah. I love campy, stupid horror movies, and I can watch this one over and over again. And it's just so enjoyable. The characters are fun. The clowns are awesome. It's just a fun movie to watch, and it's right up my alley. Is it scary? No. Terrifying? No. The kills are awesome. They're so unique and interesting. I'm in all the way.
I think that's what hooks you the whole time. One, the clowns themselves, just seeing them, it's just kind of bizarre. And just every kill is just so different. It's just shocking.
And it's like one of the most unique movies. Like, wouldn't you ever see anything like this?
Never.
Yeah, never. All right, let's follow this up. I got a little bit of trivia, and then we're out of here.
Cash it out.
Yeah. All right. First one: the car chase in which the clown is driving an invisible car was meant to be shown before the opening credits. The character driving the car is Joe Lombardo. Plot twist.
Mind blown.
Who Mike and Debbie find in a cotton candy cocoon several scenes earlier in the film.
Okay, I was going to say this. I didn't want to derail the pod. I didn't know who was Joe. That was him?
That was Joe.
He wasn't referenced earlier? I mean, they talk about where he was, or that's Joe, but we never saw him earlier,
I
right?
assumed he was at Lover's Lane, but apparently Joe Lombardo was that guy driving the car.
That's funny.
Yeah. The $2 million budget went primarily on production costs. The clown and visual effects were created almost entirely by the filmmakers at little cost.
Dude, they did a great job, too. The clowns looked awesome.
I love it. The Dickies, the band who wrote and performed the film's theme song, actually had not seen the film prior to writing the song.
Dude, but they killed it. I'll try to put some of the song here in the pod, but I don't want to get copyright. And I'm leaving on vacation, and I don't want to have that issue while I'm gone.
I don't think you can use it because when there's the game that came out, when I played the game, I got copyrighted for playing it because in the little boom boxes in the game, they had the song on. I wouldn't use the song.
Why don't they let us promote? We just want to promote your song.
And movie. We love it. Anyways, okay. As John Messari returned the music master tapes to the studio, people in accounting and legal department completely dismissed Killer Klowns as being a complete failure that will die a quick death. Messari responded, "Well, you don't get it. There are people that will love this movie."
This guy was a visionary.
Visionary. I mean, dude.
Dude, the balls on this dude to put, I mean, I'm for real, the balls to put something like this out. See, that's the thing, guys, you have to learn in life. Sometimes you have to take risks when you believe in something.
Wow.
So.
All right.
I should just leave. I'm done.
Yeah, just knock your mic down. You're out.
I'm not going to get more profound than that.
I'll
That's
walk
it.
All right. The popcorn gun included a compressor inside that would fire real popcorn. It was the most expensive prop in the movie, costing $7,000 and took 6 weeks to build.
Dude, that is crazy.
They actually made a popcorn gun.
I mean, that's hilarious. I would love to see. I wonder if that's still around.
I would not buy it. That's
Probably,
actually too expensive, but I would love to have it.
It's probably like in the Smithsonian or something.
All right. The characters Mike and Debbie were meant to be role reversals of horror movie archetypes. Mike is the dumb blonde who doesn't realize bad things are happening, and Debbie's the smarter one who catches on quickly.
Yeah, nails it.
Yeah, they did nail that. Except Debbie doesn't really end up like doing much to save anything.
Debbie doesn't really have much to do in the movie, honestly. Like, in fact, even her personality, she didn't get very good lines, I would say.
Yeah, and Mike is great, but he doesn't help. I mean, he does play the dumb blonde role.
Yeah, he's fun. I don't really care.
Yeah. Michael Siegel and Peter Lacassi were an established LA comedy duo prior to the movie. Among other appearances, they performed a comic ballet in Cheeseball Presents.
Now, is
So-
that the Bird Transies?
Yes. So apparently they were like a comedy duo.
And it makes sense because they had great chemistry and they were a lot of fun. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yes. And that is the end of the Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
I might turn you into a cocoon.
That'd actually be pretty cool.
I've done it before.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you guys all for listening. Thank you guys. What are we doing next? We don't even know. Do we?
I'm not promising anything because every time we say it, we switch it.
Yeah. So we'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
Thank you guys all for watching. A special thanks to all our patrons. We couldn't do this without you guys. It's very much appreciated.
And if you want to help choose the movie, join Patreon.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys. It's called Patreon, by the way.
I know. I said it wrong.
All right, guys. Catch you later.
See ya.